My name is Doyle Holden, and it is Saturday, February 9th, 2009. I figured I would make a video diary slash webcast type thing so I could make good use of my time. I go to school. I'm a sophomore at Dakota State University in Madison, South Dakota. I play football here. I'm from Pierce, South Dakota, the capital of South Dakota, where I grew up ever since second grade. I was actually born in Fremont, Nebraska, but we moved around a lot. I never really lived there for more than 9 months. The town of Madison. Madison's pretty lame. It has one street light. One block consists of downtown, and there's really not much to do besides the community center, which is basically a pool and some basketball courts. So not that awesome. I made some friends here. One of them, namely Josh Windsor, he was on the football team with me. He plays defensive back. But Windsor stays over here so much at our apartment. I forgot to mention that. I live in this campus apartment with 3 other guys. Cody, Jake, and Bryce. But back to Windsor. Windsor stays over here so much, we even gave him his own room. It's funny because it's not really a room, it's essentially a closet that I put Windsor's bedroom on. So that's funny. But he actually sleeps in there, which is actually the funniest part. My roommates. My roommates here at school are pretty lazy. Cody is from Pier 2, so that's how I know him. Jake is from Sisseton, and Bryce is from Windham, Minnesota. So we're all pretty close to Madison. So I don't know, but they're all pretty lazy. Bryce is a big game designer. Jake doesn't really do anything, and Cody likes to watch basketball and play basketball and stuff. So I don't know, he's pretty active, but it just still seems like they're some of the laziest kids I've ever met in my entire life. But whatever. And we move on from that. Recently, we made some signs because my roommate Jake doesn't like Barack Obama because he is a Democrat and Jake is a Republican. So we made joke signs around the apartment that say stuff like Obama says this. So, and it's just something basic like take off your shoes when you come inside or wash your dishes when you're done with them. But so Jake doesn't really want to listen to him because he doesn't like Barack Obama, but he basically has to because they're just common rules that are around the house. So whatever. But that's hilarious. Recently went to Windsor's dorm room to see Windsor and saw his roommate Chuck, and we were just sitting around, and I climbed up on Windsor's bed, which is lofted, and I climbed up and I'm looking in the ceiling tiles just because I'm goofing around like I usually do with everything else, and I find 6 amp cans that are unopened. So that was great. And then, so I took 4 of them as a finder's fee, and I gave the other 2 to Chuck, Windsor's roommate, because he liked them as well. So that was good. Recently, just started watching the movie The Program. Don't know his name. Oh yeah, Omar Epps is a star. He's a running back. And I don't really know anybody else in that movie. Oh yeah, Halle Berry's in that movie. But freaking kid goes there as a freshman and all this stuff, and he's supposed to be the man. He's kind of a hood, so whatever. And then there's a guy who uses steroids. They call him Latimer. Overall, it was an okay movie. There's a lot of swearing in it, but I watched it on TV, so there's a lot of edits, so it's kind of lame, but whatever. In the movie, overall, I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars on TV, probably 4 if I watch it in a DVD. Yeah. Oh yeah, and another thing about Omar Epps' character, I think his name is Darnell Jackson. Yeah, Darnell L. Jackson. He wears a bandana and like a gold hoop earring, so he looked like a fucking pirate. But he wore this bandana the entire goddamn movie, and it bothered the hell out of me. Because he'd wear the gold hoop earring whenever he or sometimes, some scenes, but he just looked like a goddamn pirate. And I was wondering, who did the wardrobe for this movie? Because this dude looks so much like a pirate, it's not even funny. But whatever, that's just the whole thing. It pretty much bothered me the entire movie. Yesterday, I think it was Cody's idea, but we downloaded all the Matrixes, Matrix 1, 2, and 3. I've never really seen 2 or 3. And he wanted to watch them all in a row. So we started watching them at like 6 o'clock, and we freaking we got through the first one. I was pretty tired after the first one, because the first one's kind of lame after you've seen it a couple times. So we watched the first one, and when we were done, I had to run some laps because my legs were tired. So I ran like 2 laps around the apartment building, and it was actually, it's snowing here because it's cold in South Dakota, so whatever. But I didn't want to put like socks or shoes on, so I just wore my sandals, my thongs, and I put my thongs on, and I ran around the building. And I thought what was solid ice was solid ice, but it wasn't. It was actually like that water with thin ice above it. And I ran on it, and I ran through it, and I was like right in the middle of the apartment building, which was the worst part. So I stepped in the fucking ice. It broke through my foot. I was like, oh my god, that's fucking cold. So I started to keep running, jump over the rest of the water bottle. But when I come out, the ice hooks on my bloomin' sandal, and it gets hooked, and it like falls back in the water. So I have to go back for it, because these are like my favorite sandals in the whole world. You know how it works. So I went back, had to grab it, threw the sandal on the ground, put my feet on it. Of course, it was just damn cold. So I'm running through the snow, and the snow is probably 6 inches off the ground. So I figured it's pretty hard by now, because it's been that way for a month. So I'm freaking running, and I figure it's hard snow, like the ice snow that you can't build anything with. You can't even make like snowballs out of, because it's just mean as shit to throw ice balls at people. So I'm running through it, and I step on one part, and my foot goes through like the top layer, and I pull my foot out. My sandal comes with this time, but I carved up my foot, and I got some scratches on it. I don't want to show you because it's pretty sick, but whatever. I keep running, so I only ran half a lap instead of 2 like I planned, but whatever. It still did the same effect that I wanted to get the blood going. You know how it is. So whatever. But that was cool. We just remodeled my room recently. I wanted to figure out something to do with Brittany. I actually found Brittany in this trash. In the trash before football season started. We come here like 2 weeks before everybody else. So we came here. We went to all these garage sales, and I saw Brittany sit outside by a trash can. I was like, why would anybody do that? So I picked it up and saved just some trash guy some work and put it down in my room. And it was in the perfect spot before we moved the room, but now we moved the room. Now it's not in the perfect spot because we moved the room, and the perfect spot is covered now by a bed. So whatever. I'll figure that out. But week ahead, need to finish a Photoshop project for 2D design on Computers 1. I had to design a library card. Doing okay. I think I'm doing pretty good, so whatever. 3D design. We have to make a sculpture out of snow. And I tried to make a castle, but it turned out the snow was terrible to make a castle. So I asked my dad, like, what should we do? Castle's not going to turn out. It looks shitty. So he told us to make a coffin. And we're like, I don't know about that. So we realized it kind of looks a lot like a coffin. So we carved out the rest of it, and we dug out a part of the snow. We dug out the snow, and so it looks like we're gonna throw the coffin in the empty part where the grass is. And we took a huge ice block, and we wrote, "Here lies Jimmy Hoffa" on it, and throw it down in front of the big grave spot. Peace.